What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I am live streaming. This is a thing, right? At tonight's Star. Well, it's not tonight. It's happening tonight. But Star MMA is happening at the Commerce Casino tonight, and I am here early. They just have the weigh-ins and what have you. But you're probably wondering what the fuck happened with the whole Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. So I mean, I could get into the tail of the tape, right? 58-year-old glorious boxer, like trained assassin in Mike Tyson fighting a 27-year-old YouTuber, Jake Paul, right? And one would argue, oh, he has a legit record, whatever the fuck. But we're not going to get into it. What we actually saw, right? And then I know I've read the fucking socials and whatever. A lot of people are dejected from what they saw, right? But here's the thing, right? Netflix showed their cards, right? All night long, right? They showed stars of content that Netflix produces and creates, right? Rosie Perez of all people, and I, I, I mean, nothing against Rosie Perez, right? But she's not like she's the Stephen A. Smith to whatever this Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing was, right? Like, doesn't really know, but will speak on it, right? And then there's no discredit to her, right? But what we saw was a live beta test because essentially Netflix is going to be streaming the NFL game. I can't remember who's playing or what have you, but it's a time honored tradition here in America that, Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's a sporting event either put on by the NBA or the NFL, right? This year, right, 2024, Netflix is actually going to be live streaming said game, right? Because money wins, right? And then on January 6th, the WWE is actually going to be uh, I mean, Monday Night Raw, right? Like their flagpole weekly show is going to be streaming on Netflix, right? So you guys are complaining about like the streaming errors, and there are many that night. But streaming even still is a new technology. We're 10 years in. I mean, Sparstar here is going to be live streamed, right? And go ahead and follow Sparstar MMA and all their socials to find out how you can be a part of live stream, right? You want to watch the fights. I want to watch the fights. That's why I'm here, right? Like fucking 10 hours early or some shit like that. But anyway, um, it was a beta test, right? We all watched, right? People who gathered in Arlington Stadium, 90,000 like strong, uh, in Arlington, Texas, in the AT&T Stadium, whatever the fuck, right? They were there. It was just kind of prop and filler to a beta test that Netflix did to see how well streams would go for their upcoming um, NFL game and WWE Monday Night Raw. That they paid a shit ton of money to the WWE or WME Endeavor, TKO, whatever. I've lost track. It's a thing, but they've lost count. I mean, they've basically paid a crap ton of money to have the rights to stream Monday Night Raw because wrestling is everything, right? Unless you don't like that at all. I like it, so it's everything to me. Um, but yeah, so I don't know what anybody expected. I know for me, like, I mean, I grew up watching Iron Mike Tyson in its glory days. The last time that a Mike Tyson fight was pretty much live and free was when he got out of prison. I want to say 95, 96, and it was basically like a an event on Fox, right? Like Fox Media, right? I think it was like a Saturday or Sunday night or whatever. But I remember being here in Los Angeles, right? Actually, it was in Inglewood, right? And watching, and that was just like a thing to do, right? Like Mike Tyson fights. Anytime he fights, he just commanded that audience. Julio Cesar Chavez did it as well, right? In boxing, right? Um, Also, right? What does this say about the state of boxing, right? Because we, have had both Showtime and HBO domestically here in the US pretty much cancel their, boxing coverage, right? Tyson used to fight on either HBO or Showtime pay per view, right? And that's no longer, right? So, who else in boxing could command such attention, to basically have Netflix, kind of sign off? on doing a live stream, right? Like, I don't know, Canelo. Um, the fight of the night to me was the co-main, the Taylor's Toronto fight. That had some shenanigans. Man, that was actually a wild time, right? Because you saw Taylor who ended up winning the fight. Sorry, spoiler. I should have said that at the top. But Taylor who won the Irish gal, right? Um, she won, but from the second round on, she used a methodology which is, I don't know if it's great or infamous or what have you, but she would headbutt, and both combatants, their long hair was braided. So she would headbutt and then dig a braid into Serrano's like ever increasing flap of skin above her eyebrow. It initially happened when she headbutted her the first time, right? And then it just kind of dug in every time they went to clinch or whatever. Taylor made sure she dug that braid in and it just opened up. And it was, if you're squeamish, I don't suggest you watch that back. But if you're a fight fan like me, holy shit, that was amazing, right? But in all honesty, could that fight, basically do the numbers that Netflix did last night by itself? Probably not, right? And this is nothing against gender or whatever. That's any fight. That's any fight. Pro wrestling, MMA, whatever. Have 90,000 people there plus stream on Netflix. And Netflix doesn't release numbers in terms of viewership counts or whatever. But I would argue that there's an uptick in subscribers from last night, right? Trying to sample in whatever Netflix had to offer. Right. There was another men's WBC title fight. I actually left to go to a party in the middle of it, but that looked great as well. So this is not like a top to bottom whatever. But all I want to say is like you didn't get got by you got exactly what you paid for, right? They're 24.99 or free with ads, or your 9.99 a month with ads, Netflix subscription base, right? Like you got it. We used to pay $120 adjusted for inflation to see Mike Tyson fight. We didn't do this time. That's awesome, right? Uh, Also, one of the things that I don't want to see is like you still got it, right? Because Mike Tyson, he looked great in all the promo videos, right? But we saw 30 seconds. The 58-year-old man, you know, like obliterating the shit out of an inanimate object, whether that be pads, whether that be, be moving objects, not moving objects, they weren't moving. But you got what you paid for. Like, I mean, shit, who hasn't been great in 30 seconds, right? Like, most liaisons, right? If you're a male, 30 seconds, man, you're the greatest thing ever. You're a fucking porn star. But after that, the bell rang and it's over. It's fucking over. So that's what we saw out of Mike Tyson, right? We saw like a premature ejaculation leading up to this fight, right? And it was all the glitz and glamour, whatever. And I'm not saying that Tyson isn't a fucking trained killer. He was trained under Customato and literally, like Customato, not only being an ardent historian of boxing, but also someone who literally trained Mike Tyson's mind. He was a hypnotist for war, for battle, right, in the boxing ring. So I wouldn't walk up to Mike Tyson in the fucking street and be like, talk shit. No, because he beat the shit out of me, to be quite honest, right? So could Jake Paul, right? Um, are we seeing the best in the world doing what they do? No, absolutely. You saw that on the undercard, right? You didn't see it in this fight, but you didn't, to be honest, you didn't want to see that. Right? You wanted to see Mike Tyson in his glory knock out a YouTuber, right? Um, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. But again, that's what brought you in, right? That's the Pied Piper, leading us all rats to wherever the fuck we need to be, right? Um, what would we be talking about? Like, what other events, right? We just here in the States went through the election and there's different sides and different arguments of why who won this and who lost that or whatever, right? But there are so many people, millions of people, literally like the Netflix numbers, which they probably won't release, will tell you that every ethnicity, every political, sexual orientation, whatever, was represented on their subscriber count last night, right? That's a unifying thing, right? Even if you're talking shit about the fight and how it should have gone or whatever, you're still talking about it. It is fodder, right? What else would we be talking about? That we would be in unison, sharing memes, talking shit, doing whatever. Yeah. Those things are becoming fewer and fewer as the days go on, right? Because everything is niche. There are people that I've never heard of, you've never heard of, that are making multi-million dollars, right? As we speak, doing whatever the fuck. And it's not your thing, but there's a legion of people that will support that person, content creator, company, whatever, right? So this is a unifying thing at the very, like the brass tacks of it, right? Like we got to cheer, we got to boo, we got to fucking see some awesome fights on the undercard, and we bought what we paid for, right? We wanted to see Mike Tyson fight. He fought. That's it, man. It's great, man, and life is beautiful, right? Uh, Here we are, Sparstar MMA. Again, follow their social media feeds on any pay-per-view stream. There is a pay-per-view stream, which will be in their bio, right? Also, subscribe to this channel. I forgot how to say subscribe apparently, but subscribe to this channel, right? I'm going to be doing interviews live and some edited from the combatants here tonight, right? There's also John Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Again, here we go, right? Again, are they the greatest in the fucking UFC heavyweight division? Right, we got Tom Aspinall hanging out. He's not even a thing, right? He's got the interim championship, right? Stipe Miocic, who hasn't fought in at least 2 years, right? Since he lost the title, I might be conflating that, but he hasn't fought in a while, right? Um, and he's fighting John Jones, who beat Cyril Gahn and whatever. Again, Tom Aspinall versus John Jones, or Tom Aspinall against Stipe Miocic. It's not going to draw the numbers that UFC is going to draw tonight, having Jones and Miocic fight each other. Are they the best lineal champions in the world? There's an argument that they're not, right? But we're going to watch because we love it. We fucking love it, man. And I love it, dude. And I love you guys, right? So continue to be awesome. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me for dumb shit and memes and people getting punched in the face. That's kind of what I do. I try to get coherent sentences from people that have been separated from consciousness unceremoniously. That's where we are. Love you. Bye.
Hey, this is Zeta Zhang. Make sure you subscribe to According to Woods YouTube.